Barbara Yaki. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Bob Tanis.
Here.
Commissioner Tom Brown.
Here.
Commissioner Stu Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Joe DeLuca.
Here.
Commissioner Al Ramirez.
Present.
Commissioner Luke Stempian.
Here.
City Manager Craig Morgan.
Here.
Our city attorney is not here. Police Chief Charles Rushton.
Here.
Wade Trim, Professional Planner Caitlin Haven. Here. Thank you.
Wonderful. So, are there any changes to the agenda? Okay.
I move the agenda be approved as written.
Is there support?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, next we have the approval of the consent agenda items. Are there any questions for Craig?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'm assuming the payment of $377,013.83.
Is there support? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Tanis.
Yes.
Blount.
Yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
DeLuca.
Yes.
Stempian.
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do we have a guest speaker?
Yes, speaker.
This is our first citizens from the floor, so if anyone would like to come up and speak, we'll have a 3-minute timer. If you need to finish your thought, I'll be happy to let you do that, but we do need to keep it to approximately 3 minutes. So if anyone would like to come up, feel free.
Well, I'll start off so maybe we get this going. Again, Henry Rose Figlio, 305 North Main Street. I remember from last time.
Thank you.
Now, what I want to say is that, again, it's not out of scope of work. Just keep the community in mind in every aspect of the school to the infrastructure of the community, more traffic. I know there's money to be made, and everybody's excited, whoever's going to make money. And I know this is a big thing, especially to our taxpayers. I've always say, listen to the citizens, because we are all citizens. You know, you guys got voted in for this community, and so I said, listen to your citizen. It's just too bad we couldn't put this to a vote because of regulation, whatever the state puts out there. But again, I did do my due diligence, look to see what your company was about, and I just see who your president was. I see you guys are a stock-traded company, which is good, because you don't have a CEO. Well, he is a CEO, he runs it, he's the president. But you don't have a stockholder to uphold to. It's a company that's owned by the employees, basically, a whole right company. And I know I did ask if they're in litigation. I did ask that. And it did pop up. They are in litigation. Wayne County is one of them. But that had to do with them holding some contractor to a water main or something that went bad. And there's other things. But I'm not here to, because they're already hired on to do infrastructure. And I accidentally bumped into, I guess that's the Imlay City Township, whoever he is, and we got talking about what's going on here, small talk during church. And I think him and I didn't miscommunicate, but I think he talked about using you guys. But if he did, you don't have to tell me yay or nay, he talked good. So I felt great that, and this is just to inform you guys, that apparently I didn't get a bad vibe when I got on Google. Yeah, this is Google. This is Google, you guys. Okay, just remember that. But I didn't get a bad vibe from your company. I felt like, okay, you guys are in business, 114 million. I mean, okay, you guys, nothing wrong with making money if you're in business. You're in business to make money, and they're used across the state. So just to kind of throw it out there, you know, I'm not trying to throw a dog a bone, excuse it. I don't mean that to sound negative. I know it is. But there is that positive that I did get from the very first time I showed up. And but again, I will ask you guys, listen to your citizens, because you guys voted by us. So with that being said, I yield the floor. Thank you.
Dennis Deitch, 67 Henry Lane. I'm coming to this podium tonight
to almost beg our new commission board members to please hear the citizens. In this situation we have found ourselves in, I've got 2 young kids. My kids can't buy a house in this town right now. And probably one, I wouldn't want them to pay the taxes that they're paying. I would tell them to stay in the township. But I please want you to understand, this is a long time that they're asking for in the moment right now. A couple of you guys and girls are newly on this board. I'm asking you to please give it some more time to sit back, address the situation as a whole in Imlay City, and hopefully it's the right choice to do. We don't want to come across as mad or irritated or anything like that. This is not personal. It's never personal. You guys need to understand that. All of you need to understand that. It's not personal. But we're begging you that with the transparency problem and how this went, and how it's still kind of deceitful to get the answers on how this money's captured, truly, whether you guys understand it or not at this point, then maybe please take a step back, turn this down tonight, and maybe readdress it when there's a little more transparency and the citizens are kind of a little more on board. Because it's 30 years, you guys. I got to look at my kids. I want them to stay here. But I don't want them, and honestly, I don't want them in town right now because the taxes scare me. So, another point I want to make real quick is with the taxes as they sit right now seem to be a problem. I know it's set by the state. I know it's set by how things are going. But if somebody wanted to leave right now in Imlay City, and they're openly saying, say your house isn't a new build, say your house has been here for 30 years, and it's going to come uncapped to an astronomical tax that I'm hearing, and yes, they are high. How is that person going to sell that house? Not the new builds. Let's get away from new builds. Let's get away from the houses that I've walked by for 49 years. Let's think about those people. Let's think about that. Let's think about, will they even be able to leave at that point? Or are these houses going to go plummeting down through the market because people are going, I'm not giving you 200 grand, the taxes are $6,000 a year. So please step back, address this, turn it down tonight, let them go back to the drawing board. You know, I'm basically begging you. No, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Julie Regan, 175 Bancroft Street. I talked about this last time, and I do not know if you guys looked into it. I missed the beginning Q&A answer. That one of you stated the last time we were here that you were expecting many people who live here who are lower income already have a second job. There are 2-income households. And the question was, you would expect us to be instead 3-income households, get a second part-time job to afford the new housing taxes on a home that is resold or a new house that is built with this new program. And I'm not really clear on how you expect the people who live here, who already have a second job, who are already 3-income households, to afford any kind of increase at all. And it makes me nervous because I live in a household that has 3 incomes. I have at one point in my life worked 4 jobs to live here. And if taxes are raised the amount that it said in the paperwork on the chart that you posted, from 2 million to 88 million in 30 years, I will no longer be able to live here. And I love it here. It's beautiful, the forestry, the paths, the school system is nice. I love it here. People like me will not be able to stay. please consider your lower income families as well when we make this decision. We will not be able to stay. And you're saying more heads, more houses, you need more people. Where will you get those people? Because I will not be one of them. I will not be able to stay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one. We'll move on. We have Russ Messing from King & King in regard to the financial audit. Thank you.
Good evening. There are some new faces, so for those that don't know me, thank you, Barb, for the introduction. My name is Wes. I'm a CPA with King & Messing Audit Services, also King & King CPAs, straight down the road just a little bit. We're here in September to conduct the annual audit as required by the state of Michigan. Overall, I want to thank Dawn and Craig and the staff in the office for all their help for the time that we're here. We bring a lot of people, we ask a lot of questions, turn their offices upside down and put them back together when we're done. So thank you for all your help in helping us do our job and all your hard work throughout the year to keep a clean set of books for us to review. So you've been provided kind of a supplemental report that's got a whole bunch of numbers on it. The report that I know Craig has provided to everybody, it's really long, it's very technical, it's got a lot of technical information in there. For our presentations, we like to just look at numbers. So this report that I've given you has multiple years of numbers for you to review. And we find that this is useful because it helps us to hopefully see some trends and see what direction we're headed. Where the report, the actual audit report only has 1 year of information in it. So I'll talk through this. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. The fund balance of the general fund, first number there, as of June 30th, 2025, was about 5.8 million. Pretty similar to where we were a year ago for the general fund. Didn't change much from last year to this year. However, there was a little bit of a change. The rubbish activity got taken out of the general fund and moved to its own separate fund, as well as the public safety, which is police and fire together. So there was some money that left the general fund during the year to establish those new funds and split out that activity. So there is a little bit of inconsistency as well from last year to this year with the general fund, just because we're making some of those changes. I don't have any issue with the changes. I think it's good because it is going to hopefully be more easily identifiable for what the cost is of those departments, the rubbish department, the police and fire department. So by the general fund's money, there's a lot going on in the general fund. So by taking those activities out, it becomes clearer for what those activities are costing the city. Our property tax revenue is about 2.2 million for the general fund. Intergovernmental revenues, that's mainly your state revenue sharing, about $1 million there. Charges for services, that's one of them. You can notice there's a big drop in that one because rubbish is no longer part of the general fund or fire and police. So that took a big chunk out of the general fund and moved it to a different spot, which we'll get to a little further down. Overall expenditures in the general funds, about 2 million. Again, there's a drop from last year because we took all of public safety and rubbish activity out. But overall for this year, the general fund had an increase in your fund balance of about 43,000. About break even. Further down on the page, Major Street Fund, that has a fund balance of about 700,000. That's a little less than it was at the start of the year because we did some street resurfacing projects. Black's Corners Road, that was about 300,000, 350. So we used some fund balance this year in the Major Street Fund because we did a big road project. Generally, as you can see, we go through a cycle. There's years that we don't do big projects. In those years, we accumulate some funds. And then in years that we do big projects, we use that accumulated funds and kind of reset. So that's pretty common to see. The next page, Local Streets Fund. Very similar story. Fund balance of about 150,000. There were some resurfacing projects done there during the last fiscal year on Maple Vista Street and Portland Street, which used some of the fund balance. The next one is the new public safety fund. You can see there we have revenues of about 400,000. The total cost of that department or that fund for the year is almost 2 million between police and fire. So those departments, those areas are a big cost to the city. That fund is just kind of getting newly started. We brought in about 1.7 million from the general fund to get that fund going and keep it going for the year. So that was the main source of funding for that activity for the year. The next one down, PDA fund, has a fund balance of about 150,000. There's a large investment into some capital purchases there as well, with street signs, streetscape, the pavilion downtown. No real issues there. The next page, some of the smaller funds of the township. I'll jump right down to the bottom one. It's kind of the bigger one on the page. The street and sidewalk fund has a fund balance that grew to about 930,000. Didn't really do anything with that money this year. In other years, we've had projects. That fund was used to pay for the walkway under M50 or under the railroad tracks on M53. A couple years ago, some repaving on 7th Street and Handley Street. But for this year, we didn't have any projects to do. So again, we get to accumulate some money there that we can use for projects in the future. Next pages are kind of what's called the enterprise funds of the city. We have the water fund, the sewer fund, and the equipment fund. These funds don't operate off of tax revenue, they operate off of user fees. Water and sewer, the residents are paying into that for their water service and sewer service. The equipment fund, that money comes from other areas of the city. So the equipment fund owns all of the equipment, the DPW equipment, and whatnot, and the other funds kind of pay rent for that equipment in order to use it. Overall, I don't have anything significantly really notable with those. The water fund has a net position of about 3.8 million, sewer fund 6 million, and the equipment fund about 750,000. Pretty consistent for the equipment fund. The equipment fund's always kind of tricky. We want to make sure that we are replacing equipment as it's getting old, so that we're not incurring higher amounts of repair costs. It's a delicate balance. There's a lot of equipment that goes on that's needed to operate the city. So it's a delicate balance of making sure we're spreading out our purchases, that we don't have an aging fleet that at one point is going to have a large amount of replacement costs in a short amount of time versus just kind of replacing it.
That doesn't show the fire truck, though, the equipment fund.
Well, not specifically. I believe that's purchased. I believe the fire equipment is purchased within that public safety department. Yes.
Thank you.
And then the very last page is the new rubbish fund. So we split out this activity from the general fund. We bring in about $150,000 in user fees to cover the trash collection in the village, or I'm sorry, the city. Overall, I don't see any concerns for the city at this time. Our property tax revenues are slowly trickling up year over year as just there's adjustments year over year to our tax base. We see that in all of Lapeer County. So again, overall, I don't see any areas from a financial standpoint of concern for the city. Anybody have any questions on that?
Thank you.
Like I said, the office I feel is doing a sufficient job or a good job maintaining the records for the city. We're right down the road, so if you guys have questions throughout the year, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer questions. This is the end of our contract. We've been here for 5 years. We've satisfied the contract that we've had with the city. I just gave Dawn a packet for your audit. There's a new contract proposal in there. So we hope to have the opportunity to continue to serve the city, and if you'll have us back.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.
Well, I like cookies sit at the end.
You guys have a nice evening.
Thanks, Wes.
Thank you very much. Do we need a motion to approve the audit? Yes, we do. Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve the audit.
Approve the, report. What's that? Oh, to accept it. I'll, accept the audit for 2024-2025 audit presentation by King and Messing Audit Services, given by Wes Messing.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Blount,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Ramirez,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Champion,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes. Thank you. Department head, we have a department head. So I'd like to introduce Charles Rushton, who is our interim police chief. Go ahead.
Welcome, King.
Thank you for having me. Again, my name is Charles Rushton. I introduced myself to a few people as Jeff. My parents decided when I was a young kid they wanted to use my middle name. I have no idea why, but that's why I have two names. I come to you, I retired from the city of Warren with just under 27 years there. Before Warren, I worked for the city of Clarkston, the village of the city of Clarkston, a very small community. Through my 27 years in Warren, I worked my way up to deputy commissioner. I was the captain of patrol services, executive lieutenant of the patrol services, a sergeant in the road patrol division, detective, worked approximately 8 years undercover. I also ran our crisis negotiation unit, and for major incidents, I was one that responded out to the scene, basically the decision maker on any major incidents for approximately the last 6 years. So, again, I'm very happy to be here, wonderful community. In my 6 days, I've met a lot of people already. But, again, I'm here to serve you guys and hopefully make the city a better place. And hopefully I'll get to meet most everybody in the next few weeks. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So next we have unfinished business, the community center. Bob, you want to take a walk?
Okay, a few things changed since last time. ETE showed up and they put the wire in underground, so they wired it from the pole to the new building. So they haven't hooked it to the main power yet, but they haven't got the underground in. Consumer showed up last Friday, gonna put the meter on, put the gas up to it, no gas. So now they have to get somebody out there from consumer to they get out to find out where the problem is. So nobody knows right now where it is. So that takes care of those issues. We got the purlins up on the ceiling, so it's ready for steel. Scott Houston been there last night, he's there tonight. He's hoping to get it finished up tonight, but otherwise he'll finish up tomorrow. He's got to get an inspection on that before we can close it up. We met with Howick for the furnaces in there. He's going to run all the gas lines in the building, and he's going to move them around a little bit on that part. We had our meeting, we decided to make him get the bid, but he had to do a few things for us, so we took that on. So far he has not been in there. That's got to get done before I put the steel up on the ceiling. So we're hoping that if everything goes right, by December 13th, it'll be up and running. That's all we can do right now. So the walls won't be done, but at least we'll have the ceiling and heat, and we'll go from there. Any other questions?
It's not here.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
thanks.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the NIA. I will tell you that we obviously have been here twice with the first and second readings of the plan and the establishment of the NIA. We now need to do a formal request for a reading of the ordinance 151-20, which is in regard to the establishment of the NIA. So this would be just a first reading of that ordinance. So would anyone like to make that motion?
So moved.
Okay, so we need to actually state it.
Oh, come on.
I actually,
All right, we make a motion to the first formal reading of the ordinance, what's that, 151?
yes,
-20, adopt the development of the NIA plan and the TIF plan.
and so this one is just a reading of the ordinance, that's all it is.
That's it is.
Okay, is there support?
Support.
Okay, so we do need a roll call,
Just a reading.
just a reading of the formal
Yes,
ordinance.
just a reading.
Davis,
Yes.
Tanis,
Yes.
Stempien,
Yes.
Blount,
Yes.
Ramirez,
No.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
So there is a second ordinance involved. This would be ordinance in regard to adopt the development, I'm sorry, first formal reading of the ordinance 151-20. That's not right. 21, thank you. I realize the other one was 21. 20. I'm going to say that again. This would be for the first formal reading of ordinance 151-21 regarding adopting the development of the NII plan and the TIF. So, is there anyone who would like to make that motion?
I make a motion, we accept the first reading of ordinance number 151-21 for the ordinance to adopt the development plan and tax increment financing plan for the NIA.
Okay. Is there support?
Support.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Stempien,
Yes.
This is just the first reading of the second ordinance.
Tanis,
Yes.
Blount,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Ramirez,
No.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So new business, we have 2023 in your packet. This is page 58 to 69. 2023 to 2027 Parks and Recreation Plan Amendment. Can I explain? Oh, Caitlin, would you like to explain that?
Sure. So this amendment is triggered based on achieving two different goals. So for a Parks and Recreation plan, this is not a comprehensive update. This is a very pointed change to it. One, to add the downtown pavilion and the old DPW building. They were previously not in your Parks and Rec plan because they previously weren't developed. And so to get funding from the DNR, be eligible for those, you have to have those items in your plan. And so that was one of the goals, is to make sure you had those in there so you could then compete for funding next year. The other component is that we strengthen the different action items associated with the splash pad as well as the community pool over in the Lance Steel building. And so those were embellished based on input from the Parks and Rec plan. So we did hold our public hearing last month with the Parks and Recreation Committee. They are proposing that you then do this formal step, which is to adopt that amended plan that then gets uploaded to the DNR and then filed accordingly.
Are there any questions for Caitlin? Okay, so we would be looking for a motion to adopt resolution 2025-19, which is an amendment to the Parks and Recreation Plan. Is there actually a motion?
I move we accept the Vote resolution 225-19. That's first reading.
Okay. Is that,
Sufficient?
is that sufficient?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a motion. Is there support?
So moved.
Okay. Moved and supported. Roll call, please.
Davis,
Yes.
Blount,
Yes.
Janus,
Yes.
Sempian,
Yes.
Ramirez,
No.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Yaki.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so next we have special event permit for Winterfest. This is from the Chamber of Commerce, and it is on page 72 to 75 of your packet.
Been reviewed and signed off on by all department heads.
Are there any questions about this?
I make a motion for special event permit, is that what you need?
Yes.
Winterfest, Chamber of Commerce.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Next, we have a parade permit for Winterfest from the Chamber of Commerce, pages 76 and 77 of your packet.
I move we approve the parade request for the Chamber of Commerce, the Winterfest
For the parade?
parade.
Okay. Is
Support.
there support? Okay, great. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Next, we have a special event permit for the Kringle Market, and this is from the DDA, also for Winterfest. This is page 78 through 80 of your packet.
I move we approve the permit for the Pringle Market Fest for the DDA, the Winterfest.
Okay. Is there a second?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. And we have a parade permit for 2026 Senior Swing Out Inway City Project Graduation. That is pages 81 and 82 of the packet.
I move we approve the parade permit for 2026 for the senior swing out in my city graduation class.
I appreciate the fact that they're actually getting this to us way ahead.
Well, we walk slow.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, that passes. Okay, this is our second citizens from the floor. If anyone would like to come up and speak.
I just have a quick question. Dennis Knight, 6700 Winterman. Can you explain to the citizens the difference between the rating on the NIA? So, am I understanding this right? You guys did not approve it? Yeah. So it's to move forward, is it moving forward for applications?
Yes.
No.
No.
Okay.
I
Can you
do that.
explain the reading part? Like,
Certainly.
two of you?
What we did before was the first and second readings, and that was in regard to the plan and the establishment of NIA. This is actually the formal ordinance, and there are two ordinances, and so this is just the first reading. There will also be a second reading in regard to the actual ordinances. So there is no vote officially on the NIA tonight, it is just on the reading of the ordinances. We did not previously request the
With
reading.
not approval, it was just a reading.
Okay, I thought it was approved. Do you guys
Not
know when,
approval, just a reading.
what meeting or when the approval process, when they have to put a vote on it?
Well, the thing is that there would be the second reading, which would be 2 weeks from now at the next meeting.
Okay,
I would anticipate that probably there will be a vote at that meeting in regard to acceptance or
Could
rejection.
be or could be put back.
okay, thank you.
Sure. Come on.
Oh, somebody else? Henry Belfield, 305 Main Street again. There was a couple years back when Inway City was there was a point they were going to get rid of our police station. And the citizens all band together, put signs out in the yard, all over the place to say, keep our police. The citizen said, keep our police. So, as part of that citizen, and we went to vote, and we said, keep our police. You know what? We got to keep our police. So, welcome aboard. I welcome to Emily City.
Thank you.
Hope you have a great stay, great time to force, as ever long that's going to be, but the citizens said keep our peace. Just want to do that. And one last thing, King. I love what he said at the end. Well, I want to give you guys kudos. He said, as taxes are trickling in, you guys are doing great. We have no debt in the sense, we have debt, but it looks like everything is being financed well. It looks like we're not going into the red or into negative. Did you guys catch that at the very end, what he said? So I want to thank you guys. Nothing against the NIA, but it sounds like we're doing good. I'm not saying, but it sounds like we're doing good. Am I right? I kind of giggle at that at the end. I said, we came at the right time. I said, this gentleman should have been here as a guest speaker. Wait a minute. That's what we needed to hear. How are we doing financially without the NIA? And that was the example. Thank you guys. Thank every one of you guys for keeping Emily out of the red. And the report that he said, hey, you're doing great. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, Mindy Stubbins, 180 Walker Street. I apologize for missing the Q&A earlier. I wish I could have been here. I was dealing with some family issues. I still have issues with the NIA and the draft. It still lists a municipal utility, electric utility as a key goal. That's been walked back in conversation as future dreaming, but it has not shifted out of that draft language. We've never been given a stable, consistent draft to evaluate. My major concern is that NIAs exist to address property value deterioration in specific neighborhoods. That's according to the law. I have a copy for each of you. This plan doesn't identify a single deteriorating neighborhood in our community. We have a 24% single family, 3% multifamily, and 2.6% manufactured housing, but the city is proposing to designate all existing residential neighborhoods as in need of intervention. I'm curious who has declining property value in the city, because I don't think anybody is seeing that happen, which is what NIAs are created to address. I've looked at NIA plans that I could find. Southside of Port Huron, Marshall has two, Clio. Croswell's is not publicly published, which means they're not in compliance, so I can't really evaluate that one. Most cities, NIAs are between 70 and 100 acres. We are 10, 20 times that almost. There's no reason for an NIA to encapsulate the entire city. The law requires you to determine the boundaries are reasonably necessary. There's no study, analysis, or justification showing why the entire municipality should be included as a deteriorating community. The draft still includes the authority to levy an ad valorem tax of up to 2 mills, which would violate the Headley Amendment if done without a public vote. Even including that authority contradicts public statements of no new taxes. The maximum bonded indebtedness is still listed at $120 million, far beyond what the projected TIF revenue could support, creating a potential financial risk to the city. There's no reason to have that language if we're not going to use that language. There's no plan for how increased police or fire services would be funded as the growth occurs, despite that being required before approval. And we've heard at the last Q&A that we will be redirecting city general fund growth to the NIA. And that has not been addressed, how we will accommodate a growing community when it comes to police and fire. The plan authorizes use of NIA funds for infrastructure improvements in the 425 area and on Sol's private property, both which deserve transparent, detailed public discussion, because this is not, the way the plan is written, it is not about bringing infrastructure to that property. It's for that property, included within those property boundaries. I'm just asking you to follow the law you swore to uphold. The NIA does not meet the statutory requirements of Public Act 57. It's not properly justified, not properly bounded, and not legally defensible in its current form. Please vote no or vote to table this until it can be corrected to comply with Michigan law. And here's copies of the pertinent acts of Public Act 57 for all of you. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else? Seeing none, we do not need a closed session. Commissioner Ramirez? No. No? Commissioner Stumpy?
Thank you, everybody, for coming either earlier or for this. Really appreciate your guys' input.
Commissioner Davis?
Well, thank you all for coming.
Commissioner Blount?
Thank you so much for sharing from your heart all that you did and coming out tonight, and appreciate all of you.
Are you done?
That's it.
I didn't know
Oh, I
we were
didn't
all
say
set.
amen.
Commissioner DeLuca?
I was not.
No, I would echo the same as the other commissioners. Thank you again for coming tonight. We certainly appreciate that.
Mr. Tams?
I agree with the rest of the commission. Thank you guys for coming.
I would, oh, yes,
Did you still want me to go over the different boards?
I do. Because, we're not actually going to vote until then. So our application is actually probably going to be after after December 15th. We originally thought it was going to be that day. And so it actually will be slightly after that. We'll see whether the NIA passes. But assuming that it does, then yes, if you could go over the boards, that'd be great.
And I don't know if you want me to do it during your commissioner comment time, or if you want me to do it now.
You can, yep, my time is fine.
Okay, as we mentioned, that we were considering doing the opening of the application on December 15th. It sounds like that date might be slightly different, but when that is available, that will be posted online. I know that our current form is all-encompassing, and we are encouraging members of the public, if there are multiple boards you'd be interested in, we would love to evaluate those. Some of the boards have statutory requirements associated with those individual board members, as opposed to others. I was going to quickly just run through those other boards, just so that everyone, there is descriptions in the application for those, some general skill sets that are helpful for you to have to then be on those boards. I don't believe your current application requires a cover letter, but it is customary. So when you're evaluating those applications, people can say, I am a resident, or this is my connection, or this is my mission when I go on it, so you can evaluate those when they come forward. So the Board of Review is one of the boards within the city. They are mainly focused on taxation. So if anyone has a dispute about the taxation component, they go to the Board of Review and review those evaluations. We have Land Steely Board, which evaluate that park and those assets and who rents and things of that nature. You have the Downtown Development Authority, so you have to have a vested interest in that specific district, which is outlined in red, on the board there, similar to an NIA, but they essentially facilitate the distribution of those funds, establishing programming, give direction to the executive director, associated with activities and fundings associated with the DDA. Parks and Recreation Committee, they are involved in the Parks and Recreation Plan, so that's something that we just took action on tonight. But in general, on a yearly basis, look at improvements of the park, look at evaluations of should we go after these grants or should we pursue this funding or that funding options. I believe there is one vacancy on that board as it stands right now. You have the Housing Board of Appeals, so with the rental code, if there's any disputes, this is the formal quasi-judicial process to evaluate those disputes, and that's what they review. Then you have the Planning Commission, so that is a development. Essentially, the Planning Commission helped with the master plan development earlier this year that was completed. They review rezoning, site plans, special land uses, and really control a lot of the different development components within the city. Then you have the Zoning Board of Appeals. They are also quasi-judicial components, so if you hear the term variances, exceptions to zoning ordinances, that is the board that reviews those requests and evaluates should they get an exception from the rule or not. I believe there is one vacancy there for an alternate. to serve in those capacities. And so if you're submitting for those, then at least the applications for the NIA will be reviewed by the full of the city commission and evaluate some of those vacancies or just membership of those boards in general.
Great, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, a couple things. Don't forget, Winter Fest. That is on December 13th. There's going to be right here in downtown. We obviously approved the Kringle Market tonight. And with any luck, we're going to have our new community center with heat and with electricity. You heard the report.
And insulation.
Installation is there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But the heat and the electrical will be all done. There's been a lot of effort to try to make sure that those be done in time. The fact that apparently the gas had been turned off at the street or somewhere between a number of years ago was an unknown. And so we're trying to work on that. So hopefully everybody will come down and enjoy that. The parade, the tree lighting, the Kringle Market, it's going to be just a wonderful event. I will tell you that a couple weeks ago I went to the Michigan Association of Mayors in Michigan in Bay City. It was a great experience to meet with a lot of other mayors in the state, learned a lot. And so when you go to those, sometimes you realize just how good you have it in your city. I'll just say that. I would certainly encourage everyone else up here. We have money in the budget for MML, Michigan Municipal League training. Those trainings are amazing, and a lot of them are online, and so therefore, great things to be able to take advantage of. And the last thing I was going to say is kudos to the DPW for clearing the streets very quickly in our snowstorm last weekend. That was great. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn? Take your